Welcome to Carly Tackles, a pool skimmer. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe to my channel, Carly Tackles DIY, tools and gadgets, tips and tricks. Here is the list of materials that I started out with. First, I used a trash can that cost around $5. Second, I picked up a skimmer basket from a pool store. You can probably find them a lot cheaper online, or you could also use a netting or a mesh screen if you would like. You wouldn't have to invest $15. I also picked up a bulkhead union. This is 3/4 inch. And the 3/4 inch male adapter has to have threads on one end, and that's going to screw into that bulkhead. I am repurposing the pump hoses that I pulled off of my pool and replaced with PVC. You can also check out that video on how to do that. If you needed to purchase one hose is $20. Now I have on here 3/4 inch PVC. I really don't need it for this project because I already installed it when I redid the PVC plumbing. But if you did not do that, you would need a little bit of 3/4 inch PVC. To connect it to my existing PVC, I'm using a 3/4 inch coupling. Since pool supplies are hard to find right now, prices are high. Amazon and Home Depot have a skimmer for around $50. My cost is around $26. If you had to buy absolutely everything, you might be around $48. If prices would go back down to normal and a skimmer is around $25, I would just buy one. Looking for a trash can or a bucket. The key is that the pool skimmer fits tight. You want something very similar diameter. I do have a little lip, and that's going to cause me problems, and you'll see I'll fix that at the very end of the video. We are going to start by drilling a hole in the bottom of our trash can to insert this bulkhead. Using a hole saw, we're going to drill this hole. Now this will be determined by the size of your bulkhead. Now you can't just do 3/4, that's the internal thread, so don't fall for that. Actually check the diameter of those threads there. Now there is a tip when drilling into plastic. You want to do the hole saw in reverse. It's supposed to help cut the plastic smoother. If you do have any plastic pieces sticking up, you can just use some sandpaper and knock them down. You do want a clean hole for your fitting to go into. Grab your bulkhead with the rubber ring, put that on the bottom. Flip your trash can over. There should be a plastic washer. You're going to insert that over the threads and then your plastic nut. Now I believe that I had to turn this backwards. I was righty-tighty, lefty-loosey is wrong in plumbing here. So you want to turn your nut to the left. Grab that 3/4 inch male adapter and you're going to turn this one to the right to fit inside your fitting. When you are ready to connect the hose to that adapter, make sure you put a pipe clamp onto the hose before inserting it over that 3/4 inch male adapter. And then with a screwdriver, tighten the pipe clamp. At the other end, place a pipe clamp over the hose and grab that 3/4 inch coupling. We're going to fit that 3/4 inch coupling inside of that hose. Now, it is a little bit of a twist and fit. It's very tight, which will be good in the long run, but it does take a little bit of work getting it inside of that hose. Once it's secure, tighten your pipe clamp. We need to cut a notch into our trash can or bucket. I'm using the plastic skimmer to determine how deep of a notch I need to cut. So I'm just taking a marker and basically running it along the top of that skimmer. I pull it out and then with scissors or any kind of cutters that you have, I'm going to cut out this notch. time to take this for a test drive. Now, I've never made a skimmer before, so I doubt this works on the first try, but here we go. One thing that is cool about this design is it is easy to connect and disconnect from the pool with that coupler into that 3/4 inch PVC. This is something you want to think about. Some of those robotic vacuums and other things require you to remove the skimmer from the pool, so keep that in mind. As you can see, my first test run is not doing so well. Once I get the trash can under the water, it wants to continue to go under the water. So it needs some type of flotation device to help keep it up. Luckily, I thought of a possible solution using a noodle. I need to cut a slit into the noodle to place over the rim of the trash can. So using a knife, I am cutting that. I work the noodle around the top, and then when I figure out how long it should be, I draw a line, and then I cut it. If you're taking bets at home, you can already see that I'm struggling to keep that noodle onto that trash can. I wonder how well testing take 2 is going to go. Even before I put the trash can in the pool, I'm already fighting that noodle, so I just know this is going to work smoothly. I think I've identified a few problems. One, the noodle doesn't like to bend. There's too much material in between. So I'm going to cut out some material in hopes that it helps it bend around the trash can better. And then the second is it wants to come off of the trash can. It's too good at floating. Now that I have that noodle fitting better on the trash can, I'm going to use some twine and wrap it around that bottom there to help tie the noodle down onto the trash can. Now I did have the thought that I should cut a little notch into the noodle to make sure that the twine stays in that slit and doesn't roll around to the edge and then just pops right off again. Once I have that noodle securely fastened to the trash can, it's time for another test drive. I connect the skimmer back up to the pool and try submerging it. Try to get enough water in there to hold. Now my noodle is holding the skimmer above the water, and I can't get water to go into that notch. The noodle is too good. I filled some rocks in a plastic basket that I have, and using twine, I am tying that down to the skimmer. And this will hopefully help sink it below that notch line. I'm also using that twine to hold the skimmer closer to the edge of the pool. Now I have a working skimmer. Take notes of my twine ties. I do adjust it slightly to get it to the right height in the pool, but you see there's a little gap there between the basket and the trash can, and what I'm finding is that debris is going into that trash can and not into my basket, and that could potentially get to the filter. So new plan, using some remaining screen that I had left around from building a catio, I'm tracing this trash can circle out onto the screen and I will cut it out. And I'm hopefully going to use that to prevent any material from going in between the trash can and the skimmer basket. Once I have the outer circle cut out, I need to cut out another circle inside of it so I can allow debris to go into the basket. So I just grab, I think it's 3-inch PVC, and I just draw it out on a circle. It can be anything. It doesn't even have to be a perfect circle. And hopefully you can see how my idea is starting to come to life. That this would bridge the gap and funnel material into that skimmer basket. Using exterior waterproof silicone, I apply a little dab around the trash can and the mesh. Now I do have rubber gloves on because I plan to use my fingers to help apply the silicone and make sure it kind of works its way into the netting of the mesh so it really has a nice hold. You'll want to take some extra care around that notch that we cut out because that's how debris is coming into your basket. You want to make sure it's smooth, but you also want to make sure that thing is sealed down tight. When the silicone is dry, it should look something like this. There is a negative to this. My skimmer basket is no longer removable. Finally, my skimmer has been perfected. It draws things in, it doesn't go in between the trash can and the skimmer basket anymore, and it stays afloat but yet submerged enough so that water is still flowing nicely into the pump. Thanks for watching Carly Tackles a Pool Skimmer. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. If you'd like to see other videos similar to this, including my PVC piping on a pool, please subscribe to my channel, Carly Tackles DIY, Tools and Gadgets, Tips and Tricks, and make sure you hit the bell to receive notifications when I release new content.